I wouldn't say I'm a hoarder, because I feel like that's more inside the house, but I am a saver. And by saying I'm a saver, that's my way of saying that I'm a hoarder, and that's why I have all this stuff, because you never know when it'll come in handy. These girls are 14 weeks pregnant, we think, today. They could be 14 weeks pregnant. That's the first time that we saw Crispy try to do the deed. And we don't have a shelter for them because they're too rough on them. So this is the best shelter, these trees, for the girls, for Crispy, for everything, but not for piglets. And not every paddock that they're in has trees. So you see this one has 1 or 2 trees, not much shade. You see this one has only 1 tree and 0 shade. So we need to build some indestructible, if there is such a thing, pig shelters, because this shelter worked, but it's a little too short. See here, it's not one pig or 2 pigs can fit in here, but not good for babies and giving birth. We had to add this cross brace to hold it together, and these plastic panels, they didn't hold up. So this one, good design, not strong enough. They had broken it before I put these braces on, but they haven't broken it since because they can't go through here. But these panels didn't hold up. This one, just built it, never used it for a pig yet. Heavy duty, 2 2x4s all the way around. Real heavy duty, really heavy. They wouldn't be able to move it, but that also means it's difficult for me to move it. And it's too small. This was probably good for a feeder pig, maybe the size of Crispy right now, but it's definitely too small for the girls and a full-grown pig. Definitely too small to give birth in. So there's no handle here, nothing to pull it on. You'd have to pull it there, but the skids are faced this way. This one, good in theory, didn't work out. This one, definitely no good. That's the roof. It's the back. This one had 1 cross brace, but what they would do is they would go through here, they would rub up against this and shake it, and then they broke it here. So this one also is no good. This one, decent design. Got a crossbar there to hold it together. Has this here. It's a little flimsy. You could beef it up. It had panels on it that I took off to use for something else. This one, probably the best design because they were the least rough on it, but it's too small. Oh, it just broke pulling it out. But pigs are too big. We had 2 pigs in here when we last used this, I don't know, 5 months ago, and they could barely get out. So this one's good for piglets, probably not good for full-size pigs or giving birth. How big to make it? That's the question. How long are they? 66. So 6.5 feet or 5.5 feet. How tall? Not quite 3 feet, 34 inches. How tall is she? About the same. 17 inches wide. So now we got baseline measurements, and with those measurements we can also see how much they weigh. Apple, she's about 550 pounds. Maple, She's about 525 pounds. Crispy, he's much smaller. He's also a lot younger. So, we got some measurements, got a little bit of an idea. We'll go draw something up, see if we can't whip up a pig shelter or two. All right, here's what I'm thinking. 2x4 on the bottom. Cut for skids. Two by 4 wall. Top. Some spacing. Whoops, that one's too close. Definitely don't need it that close. Some bracing in between. Do 48 inches on the front, 42 inches on the back to give it a little bit of slope. I'm thinking 72 inches along the bottom should be enough. And then we want a little bit of an overhang. So we'll do 84 inches on the top. That'll give us a 6-inch overhang in the front and a 6-inch overhang in the back. Drawing not to scale. But we'll put in here, we'll put some sheathing, some siding, all on the back side and the other side as well. Leave the front open. Might put a brace here and here. A little extra support. And hopefully that'll work. So I'll have to run, get some stuff we need at the hardware store. I'll be back and we'll get these cut and start knocking this thing out. And just like that, we got it. So, got some of the sheathing. We got some 2x4s. You can see it's gray. It should look good. So, I'll pull out the 2x4s. We'll get them cut. I'm just gonna use a circular saw and a drill. I'm not gonna pull out the miter saw. We'll need a square. Got my pencil here. It should be pretty simple. Basic tools. Anybody can really build this thing. Okay, I might have went a little overboard, maybe. It's together, it's huge. I could sleep in there. I don't think I'm gonna sleep up there with the pigs, but maybe I could build one and put it by the pond and I'd sleep up by the pond and do a catch, clean, and cook. So I need to get some metal panels, which we have from the old barn. So I'm gonna use the old metal panels for the roof instead of buying new ones, because I don't really have another use for those. And then I have this sheathing we'll put along the sides, but I need to cut that. In order to get a straight line, I'm gonna use my track saw. love. All right, so we got the back on, we got the roof purlins on, got the sidewalls on, and just need a roof now. So indestructible, I don't know. I hope. I guess everything is destructible when you're a 550-pound pig, but hopefully it's pretty solid. So hopefully they move it a lot less, and then hopefully it holds up. But I guess we'll see. So now I gotta go dig out the roof panels from up by the old barn and drag those down here. But you can see it's a bit excessive. Probably, I need to build another one. I could probably build it a bit smaller, but maybe not as wide. But I'm gonna bring this up there. We'll see. I know they're both gonna sleep in there now. So we'll see how it does, but I kind of want enough room for the piglets to be in there, and then the girls to go in and out as they please and not hit the piglets. So I guess it's all a learning curve. We never farrowed before and had piglets. So I guess we'll see. But my only concern is that if it's too big, they'll both try to farrow inside of there at the same time. I don't know if that would happen. I hope it wouldn't. But if it does, that's not gonna be big enough. I think they'll get a little territorial when the time comes. So I'm gonna dig out those panels and then see if we can't get them installed. All right, up here by where the old barn was, see we got a bunch of lumber. That's what I was gonna use for the pig shelter, but I went to the hardware store and forgot I had that, so didn't end up using it. But I got plenty of other stuff to build around here. We can use it. So there's our lumber, or our steel that we're going to use. So some of it's got holes in it. I don't care if it has holes in it. It's not going to affect anything. I could put some tape on it or something, some roof tape, if it's a real big issue, or I can put caulking on it and it'll hold up. So we need 4 pieces. It's about 24 inches wide. So I need 4 pieces across. We'll pull it out the other side and see what we can get. So I only have one glove because I was riding around on the mower somewhere and dropped a glove, and I haven't found it yet. So I'm gonna be a Michael Jackson lookalike here for pulling the steel out, but we'll pull it out and get it down there to the garage. Four pieces. Let's try this. Sketch is my middle name. I don't like that piece. It's bent over. Get a different one. I wouldn't say I'm a hoarder, because I feel like that's more inside the house, but I am a saver. And by saying I'm a saver, that's my way of saying that I'm a hoarder, and that's why I have all this stuff, because never know when it'll come in handy. I heated up pretty quick, sitting right there in the sun. I did get a cool new tool that I can use to cut this. I'll get these laid out, and then I'll get the tool. Here it is. I actually bought this for the metal on the house, but it'll work perfect for this. So this is called a nibbler. Hold it up to the metal basically, and it cuts it. So, you can see here, it cuts through it. Cut through this. Alright, I still have to measure this, but we'll just test it for right now. It's going to be pretty loud. Oh, heck yeah. It's not real sharp. It kind of folds it over a little bit. So what happens is there's a little plunger in there that goes up and down, and that basically stamps it out. So when I take this off, I don't know if I can get this on camera. So they're basically little half circles, because that's how it cuts it out. So then we can just take this and chuck it. Okay, so chalk line would be a heck of a lot easier, but it won't get down into the ribs. So a dull pencil it is. Let me go get a sharp. Now I can see that. Take our nibbler, we'll run across. All right, so it's a little sharp on the bottom, but on the top, you can run your hand over, it's not sharp. We're not really gonna be touching it on the back, so too concerned about it being sharp underneath. We'll get some more screws added across the top. There's one hole here, probably about the size of a quarter. There's one tear right there that if it was a hole, it would probably be about the size of a quarter, but it's only half, so half of a quarter size. And then there's some nail holes. So that looks like, so this is the bigger hole, but it's got a piece of metal that's there. So just bend it back up, and I could probably just put some caulking there, and then caulking on that one. There's a nail hole there. So I might just go from underneath. But if this gets some drips, it's probably not a big deal. I don't see it affecting the pigs too much, or even the piglets if they get a little bit wet. So in the back corner over here, there's no holes. That one has a couple that I can patch, and that's where the piglets will probably be, in the back corner. So should be fine. So I did add these braces. I added one there and one there, and that really held it together. And now shaking it, it doesn't move at all. So it's good and strong. Happy with it. Gotta build another one though. All right, we got it propped up on the mower. We'll see if this works. I don't have 100% faith that it will work, but it's worth a shot. What do we got to lose? Just a pig shelter that took me all day to build, I guess. They're ready for some food. They know what time it is. They don't know they're getting a new shelter though. All right, I think I'm gonna put their feed in up there, and then I'll pull the net and pull it in. They should be occupied. They're all muddy today though. They made themselves a wallow. They figured out how to push the nipple water in, and water leaks out. So they're going through water pretty quick. Come on, girl. Hey, where'd that come from? Phew. Doesn't take long for me to think of design changes, and I think I'm gonna shrink that thing down a foot because that is heavy. Whew. All right, I'm gonna let them eat. Got their shelter in. You can see what they're doing in this paddock, which is wonderful because it looked like that. So that cedar tree by the water is coming down. That next one's coming down. That autumn olive coming down. That cedar, autumn olive is coming down. There's a persimmon that can stay. Autumn olive, cedar. They're all coming down. So I'm trying to keep the established persimmons in these paddocks so that they'll drop fruit, but we want to make silvopastures, and I don't want to take them all out. We got the leaning tower of walnut trees that'll have to come down, and hopefully not on the fence. Got some more walnut trees. I'm pretty sure those are the same thing as those big walnuts. I think they're walnuts. Are they walnuts? No, they're not walnuts. Crap. Now I can't remember what they are. I'll put it on the screen because my memory is not working right now. But that's what all these are. They're all mixed in. So we'll cut some of those out to make silvopastures, but some of them will stay. And then this eventually will be a nice pasture up here. So we'll leave the girls be, see if they like their shelter, and go from there, I guess. All right, so they're using it as a scratching post, which is typical every time I put a shelter in. You can see right there where it's dirty they're using. And then if she gets out of the way, well, I guess you see it right now. She's using it right there too. So they can pick it up a little bit, but it's heavy enough that they're not gonna move it too. They're moving it a little bit, but they don't do this all the time. It seems like they do that right when they get a new shelter for whatever reason. They like to christen it. I guess it's like a dog peeing on a fire hydrant. It's the same thing, I guess. I don't know. But I guess we'll update. I do need to build another one. I can't remember what I said earlier, but they're going to be, the day this comes out, they'll be 14 weeks, what we think is 14 weeks pregnant. So they need to go to 16, 15 and a half, 16. No, 16. 15 and a half would be a little bit premature. So they go 16 weeks. So hopefully we got piglets on the ground in the next couple weeks. And that'll be fun and interesting. So anyway, this one is done. I can check it off my list. I accomplished it today. So looks like we got some storms rolling in. I don't know if you can, nope, you can't see because it all turns white right there. So anyway, I'm gonna get back in the house before I get wet. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you on the next video.